Good morning to my craft copy space day 4. It's just gone 7:30. The guys have gone to work, so I'm hoping to spend another day on my cubby. Unfortunately, I couldn't spend so much time on here yesterday because I was out half a day, and so today I'm hoping to go through all my papers. So this paper rack I got from the charity shop for £1.25. It looked brand new. That black folder has all like the scraps and bits and pieces in, and then I have a pink folder down there that has all the different colour papers in. So I'm hoping to get that done today. Now all that is usually down the side here, which doesn't make it easy to get round the corner. Now I'm going to take you around. It's going to go a bit dark. I've got a little light there, hopefully will give enough light to show what I've got. This is my wrapping station here, going down, and some of the pieces I don't use so much, and as you can see it is narrow. So there's the edge of my desk to there. I can squeeze through, but it doesn't help when I've got all stuff on the floor, which is what normally my papers are. So I'm going to see if I can do think of something else how to store it. I think once I've gone through this lot, maybe I can do something and put them on the shelves instead. I've got my wrapping paper down there, bags, and in there is like gift boxes. So I'm going to go through it. So that's the other area I want to get done today, and then we'll see how we progress from there. So if I'm jolting you, so papers and wrapping station, I am still working on this, which is the embellishment drawer. That might be towards the end because that is one of the biggest things to sort out, sorry. And it's something that I do in the evenings while watching TV with the family. So I'm going to progress, and I'll take you along with me. Right, I've just emptied the first 3 shelves down that little bit down the side of my desk. I've wiped the shelves down, so I'm just going through all the bits and pieces. So first of all, I've got this box. Now I got this box from TK Maxx. It was a reduced item, and it's quite a hefty box. And in this one is where I store boxes and packaging. So I'm going to take all these out. As I said, I like to go through everything to see what I've got. Some things I might not necessarily empty out because there's nothing really that I could do with them. It's just obviously stuff that I want to keep. But what I do is I do collect little boxes, especially when they're on sale. So let's have a look. So this one I bought recently. This is the one that I bought for £1.25 from Wilko's, and I hauled that just recently. These I have had some years. I mean, I presume I did actually pay full price for these. That was £2. This was actually, this is how long ago. I have used it a few times. I'm sure I have. A CD box, but again, we don't really give CDs as gifts anymore. Then I had a set of these boxes, so I've got the red one here. I will have to start using these. A pink one, I think I got these on .com gift shop, so that's those. This is just general packaging, and that is for making a gift basket. And then some brown envelopes, again for packaging. This is like the case. I think I might have used that. Yeah, it has got the ticket on. I have used this. It's like a DVD case gift box. And say different things that I have made. These I bought for 49p. I think these might have been the Card Factory. Whether I actually paid 49p or they were reduced, I cannot remember. Then there's this one here. Oh, it goes that way. Little box that you pull out. So that's handy to keep in case I want to give a jewellery item for a present. This one was reduced down to £1 from Claire's. Again, little jewellery box. I'm definitely going to make sure I use these. A little Santa bag that I believe I got some earrings in. Again, this sort of thing I've kept. Use the gift on this. Basically keep them and reuse them. So that's like all the packaging. This one, say, I use a lot of these makeup bags I've got off car boots, or I've got them off of charity shops, and a lot of the time they are brand new. And I bought a lot of these for 29p. Because sometimes when our charity shop gets a lot of stock in, they have like days where they reduce all their books in further, their bags, their shoes, things like that, especially if they've had undated stock of a certain item. So this one's actually got a felt project in I was doing. This is one of those bags that I got really reasonable from, I think it was the charity shop. And this is just like what I call my tech bag here. And some of these turn out really brand new and cheap because they're items that you've had free with toiletries or something, or perfumes or whatever, and a person doesn't want them, so they donate them. And that's just got spare earphones in, quite a few earphones there, and I've got 2 cases for my Kindle in there, so I know what's in there. So basically they're going to stay the same. I don't know whether I will change things around when I get round to it. And in here, this is what I had the perfume set in, and it's a lovely sturdy white box, and it keeps all these little baggies in with the ribbons. Now this sort of box is quite sturdy. Another idea to use these is your dividers in drawers and cupboards, as a cheap alternative to buying dividers for your drawers, etc. Now I'm just going to move this one out the way a little bit and change round and get this other box. Now this box really does need reorganising. This is what I got from Store 21 when it was open. This is what I call my card box. A lot of these cards I don't use anymore because I make my own. But I used to keep a whole arrangement of cards for different you know, occasions, and sometimes like Card Factory and places, they were doing 6 to 10 cards for £1. So before I was making all my cards, I used to stock up on cards like that, because when I was a carer we had 27 clients at our residential home originally, and I always used to give the clients a birthday card on their birthday, so that's why I've got so many cards. So that is definitely something that I will sit down and sort out again in an evening. I want to get a majority of the stuff sort of reorganised and see if I can change things round. Again, I do this every 6 months. I review everything that I've got. Something I don't really use anymore, I don't know if anybody else does, not very often, again something I will have to definitely start using, is the bows. I prefer ribbon now, and these sort of things, I love these colours, definitely use this again. Is the sort of thing that I've bought in after the season and got reduced. And then the other container is got my tissue paper and the shredded for filling, and I've just put them in individual baggies like this. sorry for the rustle. So I've got all the different colours there, and it looks like, looking at it now, I should be all right to start with for Easter, because I've got the yellow colour, I've got the green, I've got some white, some light creamy stuff. So basically it looks like I can use all that up coming up to Easter. Again, I buy a lot after the season. It's like I bought a lot of this reduced. Now, I didn't pay $1.99 from B&M. I wouldn't. So I don't know exactly what I paid for it. It's like a lot of the tissue papers I buy after the season, or when I see it on sale. I try and go, I like to go for gold and silver if I can, because they're quite versatile. As I said, like this one, got 20p on. So I do like to look out for tissue papers that are actually reasonable. And I do like the pumpkin one. So some of these, unless you go online, you cannot get the nicer ones. And I got loads of these. These were Tesco's, and these were something like reduced down to 15-20p each after Christmas. This was last year. I didn't use an awful lot of tissue paper this Christmas just gone, because we cut down on gifts. And then I have got these. These are bought after the season from Tesco's again, and this is the Easter one. Again, I'm glad I checked, because along with my shredded paper, I have now found I've got some Easter tissue paper to put in the Easter baskets. So that's a pretty good job. So, I mean, some of this that's scrunched up, I will reuse and scrunch it up again and put it in like Easter baskets or something. So I don't like wasting. I don't know if anybody else is the same. And I do, sorry again for all the rustling, I do like to reuse gift bags. So again, I reviewed what I got there. I know for a fact that I don't need to buy any tissue paper or shredded paper for the time being for the Easter baskets. I'm going to use what I've got. So that's a tick for me. Right, I've dusted the next shelf, and this is how it was set up on the shelf. These boxes came from B&M, and this is basically the different size bags for gifting. I bought no end of these. These were Wilko's. These were actually reduced down to 19p a bag. So something else I probably going to try and use up without trying to buy any more bags. And like this one. As I say, if I see a nice bag while I'm there, I like to get it, especially if it's reduced or on clearance or something, because then I know I've got an assortment of the different bags instead of paying full price. And got this one. As I say, some of these are probably what have been used before. And then I have assortment. I'll get all these out so I can go through these. From Amazon, I've got a selection of these little bags, very handy for little gifts. I went through a stage and I bought no end of these little bags, and these were reduced after Easter from Tesco's. Let's see, there's that one, that one, that one. And some more of those little organza bags. Again, sometimes when I know when something was reduced, I get multiple ones. Wilko's is pretty good for reducing their gift bags, and so is Tesco's after the different occasions. Some more different organza bags there, all different colours. Again, I think I'm going to use some of these with put little bits and pieces in the Easter basket, especially for the females. I'm going to use those, and for children I could use these. So again, I'm glad I went through it again just to see what I got, and I'll definitely be using a lot of these bags up over the coming weeks. I am already been collecting pieces for the Easter baskets, except I haven't obviously been buying the chocolates yet, but I have been buying gifts that have been on clearance. So, see, a lot of these things I can't really reduce because you never know if you're going to use them. Put that one in there. This one is a bit low. In this one, I've got the paper bags, and I usually buy quite a lot of these sort of ones from Home Bargains. So that's something I will have to put on my list because they're really handy. And also when I have my friends going on kids doing crafting, sometimes I will make a packed lunch up with them, put their names on. Other times they will decorate the bags with the names and bits and pieces to put their craft projects in. So I will have to remember to get some more of those bags. That's another organza bag that I've got dislodged. This is like medium bags, so these are what I've got, and I think it was Pound World as well, but especially Poundland used to get reasonable, like 3 different bags for £1, which I thought was a really good offer. So, and I went for a stage when Store 21 was closing down. As you can see, these were set to for £1, and they were originally £1.99. That was when they were closing down, and I remember getting about 3 or 4 packs of these, and this is the last one I've got left because I used to be into all this Keep Calm. Still out, I've still got bits and pieces around the home of Keep Calm. This one, I have actually got a few more bags to put in here, but I haven't put them in as yet. This is like a lunch bag type thing. It's from recycled material, and this is another one from the .com gift shop. And what I've done in the past is use them for like a little gift bag, and it's insulated as well. And I used to collect, like this one was 99p. This was from Home Bargains, looking at the tag, and it's a moustache one. Again, I used to have no end of things with moustaches on, as you can see, moustaches. And these recyclable bags I use a lot to put the gifts in, rather than using the paper bags. And that was just a polythene bag, which I thought was quite nice just to keep. I have got a few more bags to go in that one. Then this one is where I have put, make sure I've got it the right way, the sheets of paper. I normally buy it on the roll, but on odd occasions, again, Store 21 was one where I used to get my wrapping paper, where it used to be in the packaging like that. So I know when they were closing down, I bought an awful lot, so I do keep quite a bit. And this is more handy for smaller gifts. So I've got a large variety. I know that one was a Store 21. It was QS, then it was Store 21, but I think it's completely closed down now. I haven't seen any more. Again, these are sometimes offcuts as well. I don't like using a whole sheet, especially if it's a DVD. Don't like wasting wrapping paper. Again, moustache one. cats. That's a Wilko one. And I know for a fact some of these, they were reduced down to 19p for like 2 sheets and 2 tags. I've had that one quite some time. And obviously sometimes like Tesco's 3 for 2. Baby Girl, I used that ages ago. Star Trek, Cars. That one I bought actually from a charity shop. I think it was something like 5 or 10p a sheet, and I got a few sheets because it's got Cars on. Handy for the males. That was reduced. That's like Pirate Paper, and we got that one. So that's where I keep the sheets. Again, I'm trying not to buy any more and use what I've got. When I've got birthdays coming up, I try and check ahead of time the wrapping, the cards and the gift, everything, so that before it gets close to the time that the gift is to be given, excuse me, I haven't wasted any extra money getting packaging. So it's always a good idea to keep an eye out for reduced wrappings. I think it's something that you needn't necessarily pay a lot out for something that's going to be just ripped off the gift, although I like presenting gifts, and then end up in the recycle bin. Yes, I'm just about to put these other bags in that will actually put to the side, down the little bit down there that didn't get into the little boxes. Now these are, I think, are really cute. I have hauled these. There is a princess inside all of us. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. I bought these, I believe they were from Pound Stretcher when I was in Norfolk last year, and I was going to use them over Christmas and I didn't. Lovely little gift bags, very sweet, can be reused. And as I said, I keep buying these bags. This one is from Poundland. Sometimes I use it if I can't get everything in the bag that I've got, but I always ask them to leave the tag on because it can be reused and I can give it with gifts when we go visiting. And this one's just life is short, buy the dress. I just think that is a lovely bag. I do keep buying these bags from Poundland. Again, I think I'm going to have to corral that, and I like to send nice bags when we go visiting. Here is 2 more boxes that I actually got from TK Maxx. The bottom one was actually £8 and this one was £7. But I got them both half price when we was on holiday, and I got them, as I say, from TK Maxx. That's something else that I tend to visit. If I see a TK Maxx when we're away, I tend to pop in and have a look. Usually it's like end of line. So the first one, I love this. She believed she could, and so she did. Now, not this Christmas just gone, but the previous Christmas, me and my friends, I showed them how to make these little gift boxes, and we put little treats in them. I made them in different sizes. I didn't use them this Christmas, actually. There we are. Again, this is something I will definitely have to use this year, and I've kept some of the papers in there, so I'm going to use those all up. I'll might make a few more and use these up as well, and probably give them to the neighbourhood kids with some sweets then. So I put little notes after in between this filming. I make little notes so I can go back and think, yes, I remember I did that and I need to do that, that sort of thing. This one, she leaves a little sparkle wherever she goes. This is one that I keep all my felt and scraps and things in there. And yeah, I had a go at making a little reindeer, not this Christmas just gone, but previous Christmas, and that one as well. Hopefully that'll be something again I can do this year for something different. So as I say, that's my felt box. I'm not actually going to empty I have one of these. As I said, I normally do, but really and truly, there's nothing I want to get rid of out those boxes. I've reviewed what's in them, make a note of these little boxes and make sure they are used up this year. The felt is an ongoing thing, like a lot of crafters. I just like to keep a stock of crafting because it's so versatile. I'll just move those out. Rolls of wrapping paper. I use this IKEA bin. I've got some pipe cleaners that I leave on the side here, and I use these on my rolls of wrapping paper so they don't unravel. And some of these I buy because I like the design. This one was actually used, this Minions one was used as a wrapping, but also I did actually cut a lot of these little Minions out and laminated them and used them on paper clips and pegs, clothes pegs and things like that for crafting. These I got reduced in the sale. They're like adhesive covers for books, and as I say, very often I try and go for something very versatile, like this purple shiny paper. And then I've got all my papers, my polythene and everything for the gift baskets, and this was for different projects as well. This sticky back plastic, and I say this is what I've used quite a lot. This paper here, especially for males' birthdays. This, because it's not got anything written on it, it can be used for any occasion. So that is how I store my rolls of wrapping paper. And the last bit to do with wrapping is I've got the larger bags hooked up on this hook here, this owl hook. Again, that was something I bought from Store 21 when it was closing down. And as I say, I just store them all on this hook so I can see what they are. A lot of these, like these Easter ones, have been used quite a fair few years now. So whether they're coming to the end of their life. But again, I like to reuse gift bags rather than buy more and waste money. Right, I've just spent the last hour sorting all my papers out. I did all my little paper pads the other day, which is on the desk up there on one of the shelves. But this is all the bigger pads that I don't have many. The 3D embellishment books, coloured papers and scrap papers. So first of all, I'm going to start off with this paper rack. Don't know where it came from. It was in immaculate condition. This is what I got from the charity shop and I paid £1.25 for it, £1.25. I do buy a lot of paper racks, and I wanted this one because it was white and solid wood. I would have preferred it if it had been more square, but it's got like a curve, but it's okay. It holds all this, so it's not too bad. And it just go with all the rest of the IKEA furniture that I've got in here. So coming back, I've got, first of all, I've got this Dover Craft Couture paper pads. This doesn't actually fit on the shelf. Here represents all papers that are complete except for like the 3D books, which I've actually got about 2 or 3 each of these. I did get round to actually going through my, what I call my mobile craft bag that I use for the caravan, because I want to restock it. So I've completely emptied it, and then I restock it for next month for when we start hopefully caravanning, because these are the sort of things I normally take to the caravan that are easy to do and don't take a lot of room up and don't need a lot of materials. So there's those booklets. I have my Christmas one here that I actually got from the works. This one came from a fellow YouTuber. And then I've got these sort of things that I've been buying from Hobbycraft. This is obviously for a baby girl, newborn and baby boy. And that was reduced down to 50p. I did, I believe, haul that. And a friend of mine gave me this one. So that's something else project. I will be doing Christmas cards all through the year. So I will have enough by Christmas, and then I've got some more sheets and bits and pieces. That's the sort of thing that I probably would take to the caravan. And I've got some cards. I've got this set. I've bought a few of these and I've gave a few away, and I've got another one to send through the post. These are £1 from Hobbycraft, and it's quite nice because it's got everything in there to do your crafting. This is something else I got from Hobbycraft. I haven't used yet, £1. And then in their clearance bit in Hobbycraft, they tend to sell these sheets off separately, all the individual sheets. Some of these out like these, and I like that because that's like all tags, or you can use it on making your tag flip book, or you can use it in your scrap journals, junk journals, anything like that. And there's another one there, and these vary from price. I have been in and they've been 10p a sheet, and to say what you can, like that was 10p, and what you can get on that sheet. So I've got quite a few of those papers there. I did pay a little bit more for the caravan one, but also what I've done is I have actually cut these out again, laminated it. I either stick them in my planner, or I make pegs, use them on pegs or paper clips. This was one of my latest ones. I think it's nice. I really wish I got another one of these. It's like the travelling caravan, carnival type advertisements. So there's that. Then I've got some of the bigger pads in here. That one. I've got a Christmas one. I've got the Mexican Madness from Hobbycraft. Again, you can see a lot of these I do buy reduced. There's that gift box pad from the works. And I've got another big pad, and then I've got some sheets that have not been used but have come out of the booklets. But because they're complete, I left them in here. I've left this at the back here because that's a reminder that I've got some post to send off. Then I have my weekly planner, which is my new one because I'm still using one. And then from B&Q last year, I did buy this that was on clearance for £2. Wall stickers. I still haven't used them, but they are really nice. So there's the design. So I've left that there as a reminder to see if I can do something with it. So that is the bigger paper pads and everything, and books, which I'm glad I've sorted. I try not to, I keep saying this, try not to buy any more, use up what I've got. So I'm going to move this out the way, and then I'll get the next box. Right, this is my A4 sheets of coloured paper, etc. I've had this box now quite a few years. I did get it from Wilko's, and they do sell them in different colours, and this is how I've organised it. This is one thing that actually didn't take me any time to go through. I just flicked through it, checking all the papers and everything, because this has basically stayed really tidy. So starting at the front, I have got like silver papers there, gold card, gold papers there. I've just got a couple of oddments of green. Most of this is not been used. Then I've got different pinks, and then purpley colours, And this is got the orangey colours in there. Then it's got some whites in there, like a beigey off-white there. Blues going into some green. And there's just some scrap blue in there. This is, I've put that in here so I know where it is. It's that foamy stuff that you use for crafting. I got from Hobbycraft. I had, because I've only got the 2 bits, I didn't know what to do with it, so it's always left in there. Then reds, including some of this like corrugated paper. Browns, yellows, and some more orange in there. Black. I did last year buy some black card from Poundland because I needed some. And this is like what I demolished, like sticker books and these colouring books and things that I've got from the charity shop. Sometimes it's only just got a page scribbled on or something, and it was doing, they were selling them for 5 for 99p, so we use those for crafting. And then I've got some pads, sketch pads here, another line paper there, and then bits and pieces for colouring at the back here. And this is what I meant by pulling colouring books to bits for some of the kiddos. When they come, they've got something to colour, so I just leave those in the back there. So this has actually worked. I've been doing this system for a fair few years and that has worked. The other thing that has actually worked for me, which I have been going through to reevaluate, is this used to belong to my son when he was at college. And well, one was at college and one was at school at the time, so I don't know whose it was. So at the back here I've got card, and it's like last year's calendar. I love the colours, but also it's got little quotes at the bottom, so I could cut those off and use them, like that one. And have a lovely day, good vibes only, you can do it, anything is possible, I can and I will, do it with passion, worry less, smile more, things like that. And also it's plain white on the back, so it's card, especially as I'm making a card flip book at the moment, so that would be handy. I don't know if anybody else does this, but packaging, it's like this was a toffee apple box to a candle I got from Card Factory, but I just like that bit of paper, bit of cards, so I thought I could use that. And when you get this, like the clear stamps and everything, and bits and pieces and stickers, I've kept the backs of the card so they could be reused like that. So I know things are quite easy to get rid of other bits that could be used for crafting, because it will save money in the long run. So that's all like card, and as I say, packaging, back of packaging I use. This compartment's got some of those little canvases that I've bought that I meant to do on the project and haven't as yet. Then this compartment here is like all the scrap pieces of paper, even if it's just a bit cut out like that, put them in there. And I'm definitely going to get to use these papers first. I keep saying that's like all the oddments of the embellishments, use those things first. And I've got, like, I've shown this before, scrap bits like this. And what I tend to do is I have a session with the Sizzix machine. I get the Sizzix machine out, especially if I'm not in the right frame of mind to do any crafting necessarily, but we'll get the Sizzix machine out and with my die cuts and just use it and use the bits of paper and put them in a folder ready so it can be used. So that is just all the scraps of paper. This was the messiest one and I've just gone through it. The only big I didn't go through was that little bit, but I will get my Sizzix machine out at some point and go through those bits and use them. So I want to be able to use all the scraps first before, if I can, before I start using the full sheets. Now, I don't know if anybody's the same, whether they keep the oddments and whether they keep them separate and try and use those up first before they use some of the other pads. But because I'm doing the tag flip book and I'm making junk journals at the moment, that's the ideal time to use these pieces. So I've rejigged things about a bit and I've got more stuff now off the floor, which I'm happy about. So I've got my papers up there in that pink folder, and a couple of things that were under the desk are now on top of that gold box. And the same is that little container that's got stuff on it. That's the stuffing that I use when I'm making felt bits and pieces. And pretty much everything else has remained the same. And down, I don't know whether you can see it, but behind this wrapping paper, actually on the floor down there by the boxes, is that black folder that's got all my scrap papers and card in. And then I've put the paper rack back there. Now it's looking very neat and tidy, so I can see that I can leave that bit of carpet space going down there free, so I can easily get to my wrapping station. So that is my conclusion for today. Tomorrow I'm hopefully going to start on the boxes above and get all those sorted out. So that will be day 5, and possibly day 6 will be this first lot of drawers. And if I haven't already shared by that stage, possibly day 7 will be the embellishments. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.